In this episode of The VUE, we kick off the first in a three-part series featuring women in hydropower. We check in at Ice Harbor Lock and Dam where a team of underwater divers are performing an inspection on the Removeable Spillway Weir, and we meet Park Ranger Emily Klinefelter and her assistant ranger dog named Duke. That's all coming up today on The VUE, Video Update Express, the Walla Walla District's digital news magazine.
Hydropower is a clean, renewable, reliable, efficient power source that reduces our need for foreign oil. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is America's largest hydropower producer. As part of the Corps' Northwestern Division, the Walla Walla District in southeast Washington is the Corps' second largest producer of hydropower, capable of producing 4,400 megawatts of energy.
Power plant operators are integral to running a dam. But what does it mean to be an operator? To gain a better understanding of the job, power plant operators who work in the Walla Walla District provided some insight. This is one of their stories.
I was working as a supply tech at McNary. There were a few people, especially operators, that would come in and eat all my candy and that I had on my desk. And a lot of times I was really busy. I was on the phone helping a customer. I'd be on the computer all at the same time. And one of those operators, Andy Michael, who works at Ice Harbor, said to me, "You need to be an operator." And I didn't really know what an operator was. I didn't really know anything about the dam because I was a supply tech. I was, only been there for about a year or two. And people started talking to me about the apprenticeship. I ended up talking to Jeff Hawkins, who was an operator for years with Walla Walla District. And he was like, "Go for it. Let's, you need to do this." So I applied for the apprenticeship and I got an interview and now I'm an operator. Coming from someone who doesn't have a background though, I'm going to say it was a challenge. It really was. Understanding electricity, understanding how water flows through the dam. I had to learn everything from jump. A lot of the people coming into the apprenticeship have already worked at a dam before. They already know the names and nomenclature of things. I had no idea what anything was called. Coming in like that, it was a lot harder for me. I will admit that. Power plant operators run the dam, so we operate the generators, the lock, and all the equipment and systems here. The things I love about this job is the freedom of someone gives me a task, I can get it done on my time. I can figure out when to get it done in that month. Walking through the plant and finding something wrong, I don't want to see anything wrong as an operator. I want everything to be working great. It's like being an investigator and working with the crews to get things done around the plant. It's enjoyable to me. I will say when it comes to on-the-job training, if you can find people who will invest in you, who believe in you, and want to see you succeed, it's awesome. It's amazing. It's a great experience when you can, find, and they're out here. They want to help you. These people want to see you succeed. They have to work with you every single day. They want to work with someone who knows the systems and is willing to do the work. And as long as you find people who, will stand behind you, it's a great experience.
For the Corps of Engineers, the onset of cold weather signals the beginning of dive season. While perhaps not an official season, most dive work is scheduled between November and March when salmon runs are at their lowest. A team of divers suited up at Ice Harbor to perform the required 3-year inspection of the Removeable Spillway Weir.
We're doing a dive inspection on the RSW. We inspect all different components of the RSW, make sure that one, it's still working, identify any sort of deficiencies that need to be addressed in follow-up work. We're inspecting the air and water piping system as well as the structure for any sort of obvious anomalies. Where also the divers will also be getting down as far down as 85 feet to inspect the hinges, the hinge connection, and pretty much anything they could find. It's going to be a 5-man dive team plus a 2-man team on a chase boat.
U.S. Associated Underwater Services, and we're a commercial dive company. So we do mainly marine construction, but we also do inspections or repairs or investigations with the Army Corps of Engineers. This particular task is down to 80 feet below the water. That's the only way to get accurate investigation or inspection. So there are ROVs that can use little radio control robots kind of, but it's best to have an actual person down there doing hands-on work for it, for sure. Everything will just be talked about together, videotaped, and then assessed.
The dive investigation will be used to decide if potential repairs are needed for the RSW to ensure its good working condition before juvenile salmon start traveling downriver this spring. Emily Klinefelter, a Navy veteran and park ranger at the Lower Granite Project, opens up about her experience transitioning from the Navy to the Army Corps of Engineers, as well as how her team and new partner helps make her a better ranger.
I am 10th generation to serve. My grandmother, she served in World War II, teaching young Americans and Russians how to use the anti-aircraft guns. And she told me stories about my great-grandmother who had served during the Great Pandemic as a Navy nurse. So I joined, and I got to see the world from the back of an aircraft carrier, and it was amazing. And I caught the bug hard. Love deploying.
Emily deployed to Iraq multiple times, and despite her love of deploying, the fight began to take a toll on her. One of her last deployments resulted in her loss of vision, hearing, and nerve control on her right side. Emily deployed 7 times in 20 years with the Navy.
In Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, I exchanged one dream for another. I retired from the U.S. Navy, a Chief Petty Officer, where I had already started my next job in my next dream. I was a park ranger with the National Park Service on the grounds of the USS Arizona. But my daughter was just graduating middle school, and we wanted more opportunities for her and to be close to family again. So my husband and I applied, and I have nerve damage on my right side, hearing aids, vision loss. So I was prepared to hear no. I was prepared to hear not on the job. I was prepared to not be a park ranger. And imagine our joy when we were both hired for the Lower Granite system. And we settled in, and I was a different kind of park ranger, but just as awesome. I applied for a bunch of programs, K9 for Warriors and such. And I told my boss, hey, can I bring an 80-pound dog around with me in the truck? You know, walk around the grounds with it, you know, because I have panic attacks while driving, and you need me to drive a lot. The entire team got behind me, and my boss said, okay.
Emily got Duke while he was still a puppy, and they both go through training together. Now Emily has Duke by her side, not only in the car to keep her from getting anxiety attacks, but also on the job.
As it makes me a better ranger, because a lot of my job, 90% of my job, is dealing with people. But being able to do that, knowing he's watching my back and my blind side, he's gonna let me know if somebody walks up behind me, is incredibly soothing. He's focus and he's freedom. The guests do enjoy talking about him, and it provides me an opportunity and a platform to demonstrate 2 things. 1, veterans are part of the workforce. And 2, the Corps of Engineers is very friendly to us. I can say, have you thought about the Army Corps of Engineers? National Park Service is cool. Bureau of Land Management's great. But have you thought about the Army Corps of Engineers?